They can say that Steven Crowder's jokes are just racism under a veil of humor, but when I say that Dave Chappelle's jokes are just transphobia under a veil of humor, I'm being ridiculous. The LGBTs are at it again, trying to cancel everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know that I said that I did not want to talk about Dave Chappelle again on my channel for a while, and I really wanted to stick to that. I tried my best to stick to it, but unfortunately today, I'm going to be talking about it a little bit more. Well, not actually the Dave Chappelle content specifically, but rather this video right here. A couple weeks back, I posted a video talking about my opinions on the Dave Chappelle special, and apparently these people did not like it. I mean, I already knew a bunch of Dave Chappelle fans did not like it. I haven't made a second video reacting to some of the comments that I got from Dave Chappelle fans, but these two men, Abbott and Preach, have a lot to say about my opinions on the Dave Chappelle special, and I've definitely seen some people coming to my channel from their channel, so I'm excited to see what they had to say about me. Before we get started, I post new videos every single week here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe if you are not already, and you would like to be. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those different places to keep as up to date with me as possible. And yeah, with no further ado, let's get right into this video about how transgenders are crybabies or whatever these people are gonna say. Who knows? So just as a very, very quick little recap, recently Dave Chappelle released a special on Netflix, and in that special he made some jokes that were transphobic. But like I said, I did already do that video on it, so if you guys want to know my opinions and all that kind of stuff, definitely go watch that video, or don't. I mean, I'm gonna say my opinions again, so I think you'll be fine, but if you are somehow seeing this video after seeing their video and you have not seen my original video, if that made sense at all, I do recommend that you watch my original video, because Abbott and Preach literally only watched maybe 20% of my video, and I actually think that they would maybe agree with me if they actually listened to what I had to say, but hey, the world will never know. He is a straight man, not gay, not trans, none of the above, which I will say I do think it would make a difference if he was gay or trans, you know what I mean? I feel like gay people can make jokes about gay people, trans people can make jokes about trans people.
Flame Monroe makes comedy about LGBTQ people, and she's getting flamed, no pun intended, all the time. So people are gonna get offended no matter what.
I'm not people. I never said that I had a problem with Flame Monroe. Not all trans people think the same, that's fine. I was just giving my personal opinion that if you're trans, you can, you know, make whatever jokes you want to make. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Whenever I hear this stuff where it's like, only black folks can make jokes about black folks, white folks can make jokes about white folks, and women can only make jokes about women, and men can make jokes. Really? Women can't make fun of men? Really? You sure you want to go down that road? Because a lot of women's acts are about to get destroyed. Listen, if we're being honest, we make fun of each other. We make fun of ourselves. But this whole thing, like, you can't make fun of other groups. Why? Why not? And also, to what degree do we want to do this? Should poor people only be able to make fun of poor people? Rich people, rich people?
No.
Americans?
Poor people can make fun of rich people because they're punching up. You see, on that layer?
If you're on the bottom layer, it's perfectly acceptable for you to punch everyone upwards. If you want to punch against oppression, it's acceptable. But oppression cannot punch against the oppressed. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the whole punch up, punch down stuff. You know what I mean? If you want to go and make fun of children, make fun of children. If children want to make fun of you, make fun of you. I dislike it when people gatekeep who can make jokes about who.
I won't lie, watching kids fall is pretty funny. Especially when they're on ice. You know, they stumble for a while and then eventually they fall. It's so great. That's not really the kind of joke that we're talking about though. Dave didn't show a video or laugh at a trans woman falling. He laughed at our bodies.
Ooh, look at that big chiseled jawline, that big thick Joe Rogan neck. Is that a dude? Is your daughter a man?
He joked about how he's on Team TERF. Do you know what a TERF is?
TERF is an acronym. Stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. This is a real thing. This is a group of women that hate transgender. They don't hate transgender women, but they look at trans women the way we blacks might look at blackface. It offends them. Like, ooh, this bitch is doing an impression of me. I'm Team TERF. I agree. Man. Gender is a fact.
A TERF is a type of activist that focuses on how trans women are actually men and they're just pretending to hurt women. That's a funny thing to align with. That's just like a joke. When I say that I don't think that cis people should be able to joke about trans people or, you know, men about women, blah, 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 I don't mean to say that cis people can never mention trans people or, you know, mention their experience with trans people and joke about that. And, you know, maybe that was my mistake. Maybe I did not articulate that the best way. He was laughing about the fact that a trans woman was trans. Literally, that if he were to see a woman with a penis, that would be the funniest thing ever.
And suddenly, a woman walks into the men's room. I'm gonna be like, that's strange. And then she hikes her skirt up and pulls a real live meaty dick out. And what do you think I'm gonna say?
There are ways that you can joke about trans people without making the punchline of the joke the fact that we're trans. Like, the trans experience is funny. Even being somebody around the trans experience, funny. Tons of comedy gold in that, situation. You don't need to make fun of the fact that somebody's trans.
And then, I don't know where. It's just, you just say, it's Caitlyn. Then you couldn't react, couldn't on any level be like, oh my God, what the F, on any level. You couldn't say that, or you automatically homophobic. Dude, you shave your beard off. People are like, oh my God, that's your chin? Wow. This guy walked up a dude, came back a woman, you're just supposed to be like, oh yes, anyways, Caitlyn, that's what I'm saying.
See, now this was a perfect example of how you can joke about a trans person being around you or your experience with trans people without perpetuating this transphobic rhetoric. He's not joking about the fact that Caitlyn Jenner is trans. He's joking about that awkward situation. So it's fine. You know what I mean? I have no problem with it. Dave mocks trans women for literally just having a penis. And in my opinion, this is really comparable to white people making jokes about the stereotypical features that black people may have. Just like in those racist jokes where people are laughing at somebody being black or, the caricature of a black person, Dave is making fun of trans people for literally just being trans. The same thing goes for race or gender. I think if a black person wants to make jokes about their struggles with, being a black person, I think that's fine. I think if a woman wants to make a joke about being a woman, that's fine. However, I don't think the opposite is true. I don't think it would be okay for a white person to joke about a black person's experience. I don't think it would be okay for a man to joke about a woman's experience. And I also don't think it would be okay for a cisgender person to joke about a trans person's experience. So maybe I should quickly clarify what I meant in that little segment. When I say that men shouldn't joke about women's experience or white people shouldn't joke about black people's experience, I'm referring to those jokes that perpetuate discrimination.
She didn't say, I don't think it's okay for a black person to make fun of a white person or for a woman to make fun of a man. She only said it one way, which literally aligns with the one way of this.
Yeah. That's our direction.
Yes, you're a clever one, aren't ya? It was definitely purposeful. Saying that cis people making these jokes about trans people is the same as trans people making these jokes about cis people. It's kind of like saying you can't be mad at somebody for doing blackface if you think it's okay to do whiteface. What? Whiteface isn't even real. Joking about cis men not being real men is not real. Trans people don't discriminate against cisgender people. That's just not how this works. You really have to resort to attacking another minority community to boost your numbers?
Ain't nobody trying to talk about y'all that deeply. You guys just won't shut the fuck up, and you guys are in every news article, always trying to cancel folks. So of course, the reason why folks talk about y'all is because you guys put yourselves out there all the time and then constantly demanding change from everybody. I could honestly say up until like maybe 5-6 years ago, the trans stuff wasn't that common in terms of stand-up comedy.
No.
Then the pronoun stuff happened. The bathroom stuff happened.
We're gonna laugh. We laugh. Comedians is the news. If you look at comedy that did not age well, it's a reflection of not the comedian, but the era which he lived in. Comedy reflects what's going on a day-to-day basis.
He said that he's mad that we're demanding change and then references the bathroom bills in North Carolina. These bathroom bills that he references are discriminatory. Even Dave Chappelle admitted that. Are bad for fighting against a discriminatory bill. He then tries to prove his point by saying, well, nobody talked about you guys up until 5 or 6 years ago when you guys started making all this noise and started being so annoying. Did he even watch the special? Like, am I the only one that watched the special? He literally said in the special that he's been making trans jokes for 16 plus years. I guess that's our fault. We just won't shut the fuck up. 16 plus years, he's holding a grudge. Damn. Again, he can make jokes about us. I really don't care. I feel like most people don't care if people make jokes about trans people, as long as they're not jokes about the fact that we're trans. Or jokes that infer that you don't think that trans women are real women. Whether you care if it hurt my feelings is up to you. I really don't care if you care. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're an asshole. I don't care if you don't care.
Baby.
That was perfect.
Love.
That was perfect.
That's not how things work, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't care if you care, you fucking dickhead, piece of shit, asshole. I don't care.
You got hurt. And I understand that you got hurt. I understand. But then again, that's what it is. In a video, okay, you can't be saying, I'm a trans person. Of course I got hurt. And then minutes before say, I'm going to give an unbiased opinion. No.
Okay, hold the phone. When I said I was giving an unbiased opinion, or as unbiased of an opinion as I could give, I was referring to me not reading a lot of news articles or not watching other videos on the special before, making up my own mind. That's what I was talking about. But I was also very clear about the fact that I'm a trans person. I can't take the fact that I'm trans out of the equation. Just feel like I needed to clarify that. It's not really important.
Also, just because you were hurt doesn't mean the joke was mean.
Or that it's not because the joke was not funny that it's not a joke. You just didn't think it was funny, which is fine.
Listen, comedy's always funny until it's directed at you. And then it's oppressive.
Comedy is just like a drunk uncle at Christmas. It's funny until he touches you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Just because you were hurt doesn't mean the joke was mean. Just because you didn't think it was funny doesn't mean it wasn't a joke. It's just jokes.
Most happy about the new policy, these people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man. I'm gonna plant that corn. Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
Crowder's gonna Crowder.
These guys are so cringy. These guys are unbelievably cringy, and you know their undertones are so apparent. It's crazy to me. Might as well just put on blackface. Might as well. Might as well. Honestly, this kind of like crazy characters that you're trying to drive as you're doing these, this is just cringy. I got big lips and large ears and a wide nose, and I suck in all the oxygen because I'm like a monkey. Like they might as well just said that. It's pretty much what they're saying.
Ooh, look at that big chiseled jawline, that big thick Joe Rogan neck. Is that a dude?
Here, they come in with such ignorance, right? And then they use these kind of like stereotypical characters, right? Pretty much doing blackface. It's blackface without the blackface. That's what it is. And they're laughing about it. And it's just like, okay, that's how you roll. It's cool. It's just jokes, guys. Okay.
Wow,
Cool
you're
story.
good.
Cool story. If you guys think that's humor, if you think that's trying to be funny, cool story. You can't use a veil of humor to say this kind of stuff and always be like, it's just comedy. We know the difference. And most smart people know the difference, okay?
Wow.
Wait, but it was just a joke. That doesn't mean he's racist. They say Crowder might as well just do blackface if he's going to be making jokes like that. Well, I say that Dave might as well call us all men. Oh, wait. They can say that Steven Crowder's jokes are just racism under a veil of humor, but when I say that Dave Chappelle's jokes are just transphobia under a veil of humor, I'm being ridiculous. The LGBTs are at it again, trying to cancel everybody. It seems to me that you both really do understand the concept. I really just wish you had listened to my whole video. He complains about the increase of attacks on Asian Americans, then compares black people beating up Asians to his immune system fighting off the COVID virus, playing into the whole myth of COVID being this Asian disease, which is quite literally the reason that hate crimes against Asian Americans has gone up.
That's a funny ass joke. That's a funny ass joke. That's funny. But again, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it.
Steven Crowder has a lot of fans. That video that you cited has a lot of views, and I'm sure that a lot of people thought that the jokes that he was making were hilarious. That's exactly what you're doing with Dave Chappelle. You don't have to like when people do blackface. It doesn't mean that they're a racist. This isn't about whether or not I like the special. Like, come on. This special, in combination with Dave's other specials where he talks about trans people and laughs at our bodies, and all the other media laughing at trans people, including maybe Abby in Preach's videos, you know, talking about how trans people are doing whatever. All of these things are informing people's perceptions of trans people. This quote talks about how racist depictions can influence people's perceptions of different races, and I think that it can be applied to trans people as well if we, you know, use our imagination. Racial images packaged as entertainment can skew the way all viewers understand and categorize people. Popular media can have a negative impact on whites' perceptions of people of color, and racial stereotypes in film and television can exacerbate pre-existing racist fears. When there is lack of contact between racial groups, or in this case between, you know, trans people and cis people, people tend to rely on media stereotypes to formulate ideas about people outside of their own race, or in our case, people who are not like them. The media's tendency to fuel racial misperceptions can contribute to public support for harsher punishments for people of color. And that is to say that the jokes that Dave is making and the rhetoric that he is promoting and pushing is influencing the way that people think about trans people, and it is impacting our lives in a very negative way. We love making fun of anti-vaxxers.
So you see, it's perfectly acceptable. It's perfectly acceptable to make fun of the groups that she doesn't like. But the groups she does like, can't do that.
Yes, and I will continue to make fun of anti-vaxxers because that is a choice. We're not going to talk about it right now, but I will say that choosing to not get a vaccine is not the same thing as being born transgender. Duh. But like LGBT, is it really that hard? Like, just practice it like 3 times, I swear. You can.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. LGBT is a shitty acronym.
You know what? They're not even wrong. You know, it's not the best acronym, I won't lie. They're missing the point of why I even brought this up, which was that Dave was doing this to purposely frame us as, you know, irrational and, you know, annoying and blah, 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 whatever he was trying to do. But they don't care about my actual opinion. They're just trying to make jokes. They're just trying to, like, laugh at trans people. The first of which is the proclamation that the modern day LGBT movement or the modern day LGBT community is too sensitive and too brittle.
To be fair, though, I feel like most people feel as though most folks have become too brittle and too frail. My experience is that people feel like the world is soft.
Yeah. Black people, white people, Asians, everybody's soft.
And I'm really inclusive. So I feel like since you guys are part of the world, you're soft too.
I don't get this. Like, are they okay with us being too brittle, or are they saying that they're too brittle too? I appreciate them standing in solidarity with us. It's very polite. I don't know if I would say that we're more brittle now. I would say that we're just, you know, more vocal about the shit that harms us and the shit that affects us every single day. Like, would you prefer that we just, like, deal with it silently? Just, like, shut up and just take people mistreating us? We just don't get to say anything about it? Shortly after, a bunch of his shows were canceled because what music festival is going to want a performer that bashes a large portion of their customer base?
You mean like Eminem? Carry on.
You mean like most rappers who say anti-gay stuff? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think your favorite rappers like gay folks?
He's like, well, do you like Eminem? He's homophobic. Gotcha. Like, first of all, no, I don't really care for Eminem. I won't lie. Don't hate me. Don't come at me. I'm sorry. That's just such an interesting defense of a rapper being homophobic. Well, all the rappers are homophobic. No biggie. Rappers will be rappers.
It's the same rhetoric again and again. We get it. Okay, we get it. We get it. You don't get second degree. Fine. It's okay. It's fine. You don't like the way things were said and you were hurt. I get that. You're biased because I get that. Okay, like, you know what I mean? We get it. Yeah. This is fine.
It's kind of disappointing whenever you listen to somebody and you can just tell that they got literally all their views from Twitter.
All your opinions are coming from Twitter. You listen to like 20% of my video. You don't know what my opinions are. Abba, preach. If you're watching this, feel free to reach out. I feel like I wouldn't even have to explain to them. I feel like they would agree with me. If they actually knew what my opinion was, I feel like they would agree. They pretty much said the same thing about Steven Crowder. But yeah. Anyways, like I said earlier, I post new videos every single week on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Love that. Thank you so much. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to go. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.